You are listening to the Wandering Chronicles podcast. I'm Ashley, I think, at this point. I don't know.
It's all a blur. I'm Jamie.
Hi, Jamie.
Hi. How's it going?
I have a headache.
Yeah.
I'm gonna power through.
I am a cruel taskmaster making you record.
I am a nursing mother fighting off an eagle. I can do this.
I just sent her this wild TikTok of a mostly naked mother.
Yes.
She must have seen out the window or something that her pet goose was being abducted by a bald eagle, and she ran out the door with this baby in tow to chase off the eagle, and her husband says from in the house, "What's happening?"
To be perfectly honest, I watched that TikTok twice, and I didn't even know there was a man involved.
Captions picked up his voice. I'm like, oh, you just let the naked woman run out the door. I mean, I'm assuming since you have a pet goose, you're probably not living in a highly populated area.
Probably not.
Still. I saw one of the comments said, "Baby didn't know she ordered milkshake today."
I guess the baby likes his milk shaken, not stirred.
That's so funny.
Oh, man.
So, how you been?
Tired. So very tired.
Yeah, it's been a crappy week.
Yeah, it's been a really, really bad week. A really long, exhausting, terrible, no good week.
Yep.
How are you?
I feel a little bit better because I feel like Ted Cruz is also having a really bad, no good week, and that makes me, by proxy, feel just a little bit better.
It's a little bit of sugar to help things feel a little bit better.
Yeah, we are recording a couple weeks ahead of time, so, you know, without getting into too much detail, because I think we're both going to cry about it, there was a pretty terrible shooting this week in Texas, and you all know what I'm talking about, so.
It's news. It's terrible. And
yeah.
I'm a little too dehydrated to cry, so that's probably, like, the only positive. I just can't do it, man. Can't do it.
I've seen a couple videos today of people going up to Ted Cruz in public and berating him.
So, dear listeners, you're getting a nighttime recorded episode, which means we're probably going to be a little loopy.
Yeah,
Oh, hey! Your motorcycle gang's here to pick you up!
It's Memorial Day weekend, and it was beautiful. Today was perfect weather, so they actually were worse than normal today, which is bad, because they're always bad. Yeah.
Been hearing a lot of screaming outside my window, like people just cheerfully screaming and laughing. Good. Not like blood-curdling screams, but like, "Oh, this is so fun! It's nice out! I'm dumb!
Oh my god, it's summer again!
Oh my god, I'm dumb and young and I'm ready to have fun!"
I can't say I blame people. You just gotta get it out sometimes. It's been such a shitty couple of weeks.
Yeah.
That if people are feeling joy, I have a hard time faulting them for that.
No, I don't have a problem with that. It's just that when I have a headache, it doesn't make me happy to hear it. I'm just like...
Understood.
Like,
I'm sorry
take
if
it across the street. No, you're fine. I'm like, take it across the street. Go scream in those people's windows. Like, I don't want to hear it. I even told Izzy today when I got home, I'm like, girl, I'm not in the mood for this, so you better keep quiet.
April has been driving me batshit crazy with her screaming. Not so much today, but like the last few days this week, every time I get up and walk around, meow! I'm like, what do you want?
Izzy just walks in circles and like walks around my apartment going, meow, meow, meow. Yeah, that's you, bitch. I see you.
She's like, that's rude.
She's like standing in my bedroom. She's literally standing on the Grateful Dead t-shirt I threw in the pile of colorful clothes I have. She's standing on it, staring at me like, bitch, one more word and I'm throwing up on this.
Can't even Did she just throw up on it?
No. She was walking out of my bedroom and she stopped to sniff something and then there's like a ribbon on the floor that sometimes they play with, but it startled her, so she jumped.
I don't remember the name of the account, but the Veranaboo TikTok account that you and I are both obsessed with. They posted a video today. Do you know the Fosse dance? Mm-hmm. They posted a video of Veronica. I don't know if she was chasing something you can't really see, but it's like, do-do-do-do, do-do, do-do-do-do-do. It's the cutest thing.
I'll go look it up after this.
Yeah, I should have sent it to you, but I had sent you... I always send you TikToks, and sometimes if I haven't heard back from you since I sent one, I don't want to send another one, because I don't want to give you like 15 TikToks that you have to watch when you have time.
It's fine. It's fine. I always make time for Veranaboo. They're so
TikTok
cute.
is how I show love, and I often send you Veronaboo.
Yes. Bapcat's been cracking me up lately with the cat that plays Cards Against Humanity.
I noticed one of those, too. I forget what the question was, but it was something along the lines of, who's the most problematic person in the world?
Oh, and it says
something
you?
like that, and it said you. That was funny.
Yeah, there's been some really good ones. That one that you sent me that I also sent to Dan was really funny.
I don't remember. I've watched so many TikTok. I've been disassociating and watching a lot of TikToks lately to, like, not deal with reality.
It was the one that said, what makes life worth living, and the card was murder.
Speaking of murder.
Uh-oh.
That's an excellent segue. I can't not take it.
Okay, I'm going to open my drink real quick. So I am having a CBD drink again.
Oh, okay.
I saved it. As soon as you sent me a text earlier that you wanted to record tonight instead of tomorrow, I'm like, oh, I'm going to save it for this.
Oh, that's so funny.
I'm drinking grapefruit-flavored, mad tasty, pure sparkling hemp extract water.
I have to make mine, though. I got a soda stream.
Okay.
I don't know if I've talked about that on the TikTok before, but I got a soda stream with my
the
tax
podcast?
refund. Oh, God.
We were just talking about TikTok, so it's okay.
I know, TikTok cast.
I mean, that's basically our text chain at this point.
I know. Sorry.
No, don't be sorry. They're really funny. I always enjoy them.
It's mostly me.
It's almost all you. I think I've sent you like 1 or 2 TikToks. I don't go on TikTok unless you send me stuff.
I know. That's why I send it to you, because I used to send it to you on TikTok and you never looked at them.
Oh no, I don't go on TikTok.
About that, I'm not kidding, probably 100 TikToks that people have sent me that I haven't looked at. Because I just don't. So I send them to you when I see them, but I don't look at the ones people send me ever.
See? Now you know how it feels.
I know. That's why I always feel bad about it. That's why I always apologize about it. Yeah, I have a lot of friends on there that send me shit, and I'm just like, I'm gonna be honest, I probably look at these once a month. And it's been longer than that this time, so I have a lot.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll do that tomorrow. Do you want to talk about a prominent person from Dover, Delaware?
That's what we're here for.
Yep. That's the name of the game.
I almost choked on my own spit, so I'm doing well.
We are off to a great start.
It's a thing. Things are happening, man. Things are happening.
So I am going to tell you about a former congressman of Delaware who lived in Dover, Delaware, and a very specific experience that happened to his family. Okay. There is murder, but it's not graphic.
Not a murder most foul?
It is fairly foul.
No.
But it's not the most foul.
My word.
Oh, God. On the scale of foul, it's about a 5.
Okay, 5 foul. Got it.
5 foul. 5 ducks. So, the man that I'm going to tell you about, his name is John B. Penington.
Well, that sounds like a man who wears a monocle.
There are photos, speaking of, and I was just trying to remember, I can't remember if he has a monocle in them or not. John B. Penington was born on December 20th, 1825, in Newcastle, Delaware.
No monocle, but does wear bifocals.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Sounds about right.
Okay.
Not a lot is known about his early life, but he earned his law degree from Jefferson College in Canonsburg, PA, which is now called Washington and Jefferson College.
I hear that's a party school.
Is that true?
No, I just made that up.
Oh, I was like, I lived in Pennsylvania, and I've heard of it. I've definitely heard of it, but that's the end of it.
I've never heard of it, so I was clearly just making that shit up.
Canonsburg, Pennsylvania is a word I say every single day of my fucking life because of my job. So, one of the vendors we work with is there.
Oh, okay.
So, I give out an address in Canonsburg several times a day.
Sounds like fun.
No, it's not.
Well, then I've been deceived.
Yeah, it's a complete lie. I mean, it's not the worst thing I do, but it's not the best either. I think the best thing I do is not at work, though, so, there is that.
Samesies.
Yeah, thank God. Can you imagine a life where the best thing we did was at work?
Oh,
that's not a life I want.
That's on par with people who peaked in high school. That just makes me sad.
Yeah, or sell real estate.
Yeah. My mom did that for a little bit.
I mean, I'm kidding, but I always think of, when I think of people that peaked in high school, I feel like they all sell real estate or MLMs.
It's accurate. It's accurate.
That's just my personal opinion on that.
At least on the MLMs.
Oh yeah, fuck them.
Absolutely.
They're the worst.
Mm-hmm.
So after he graduated, John taught in Indiana for several years before returning to Delaware and being admitted to the Delaware Bar Association. And at that time, he began his private legal practice in Dover in 1857.
Okay.
At some point along the way, he married his wife, Rebecca, and over the years, the couple had 4 children. They had 2 sons and 2 daughters.
Oh, 2 of each.
He was elected first as a member of the Delaware House of Representatives in 1857 and was a delegate to the Democratic National Convention in the 1860 election. In 1868, he was appointed U.S. Attorney for Delaware by President Andrew Johnson, which he served until 1872. And then from 1874 to 1879, he was appointed and served as Delaware's Attorney General by Governor James Ponder.
Okay.
On March 4th, 1887, Penington was elected as a Democrat member of the House of Representatives. But it's not his decorated political career that John is known for these days.
Okay.
It's a tragedy that befell his family.
Okay.
After his election to Congress.
Well, this is why you never run for public office. I can tell you I don't know this story.
Okay, good.
I don't recognize that name.
Good.
You are the cutest, Johnny. You're way cuter than the other Johnnies.
Not that it's a competition or anything.
No, I'm just telling him he's cuter than other Johnnies.
Got it. Well, there are 2 Johnnies in this story.
Is my Johnny cuter than either of them?
Yes, by quite a lot.
Excellent.
I would say. I mean, you have photos. You can tell me if you disagree, but don't look ahead.
I haven't scrolled past Penington.
The first John.
The first John.
Okay.
And Johnny's definitely cuter than that guy. I mean, his beard kind of takes away points on that one. And you should see John in bifocals.
It's also a drawing, so who knows how, like, it kind of falls on how good the artist was. Who knows, man? You could send me a pic or show me a picture of Ronald McDonald, and that's the best I got as a reference. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So.
Oh, Ronald McDonald and all of his friends.
This is going well.
Yes. I've diverted this episode quite a bit. I'm sorry. I'll stop.
It's okay. I think it's good. I think it's a good story. Anyway.
I'm excited.
So, on the evening of August 9th, 1898, John and Rebecca invited their eldest daughter, Ida Dean, and their granddaughter over to enjoy dinner of trout and corn fritters.
Good Lord.
Also in attendance at this dinner was their youngest daughter, Mary Elizabeth, and her toddler daughter, both of whom had been living with John Penington, while Mary Elizabeth's husband, John Dunning, who was a reporter for the Associated Press, was working in Cuba.
Okay.
So there's a lot going on in that sentence.
Yes. So, John number 2 is in Cuba working as a reporter while his wife is staying with her parents. With their child. Okay.
With their baby. Yes.
Yeah. With their toddler girl.
Yes. Who is unnamed. Well, I saw 2 different names for her, and I don't know which one is right, so I kind of just left her unnamed in the story because she's not really a character in the story. She's just present at this time.
What were the 2 names that you saw? I'm just curious.
I saw that she was named after her mother, Mary.
Okay.
And I also saw that she was named after her grandmother, Rebecca.
Okay.
So it was one or the other. Names. I don't know which one.
There.
Could be either. But this is the last, really, we're going to hear about her. So
goodbye, really Mary and or Rebecca.
Yeah. Hope you lived well.
I hope so. Toddler death is not fun.
She doesn't die. Well,
good.
I mean, I'm sure she eventually died, but
yeah, I'm sure she's dead by now. But like, she didn't die in this situation.
It's not part of this story.
Okay, that's a relief. I was a little worried that there was gonna be like a toddler death, and I'm like,
no,
my heart can't handle that right now.
No, I would not be telling this story if that were part of it.
Okay, good.
I'm a fucking mess, and that would not work for me either.
No.
So after the dinner, the family retired to the front porch where they sat and chatted with the neighbors of the Peningtons while they enjoyed the summer evening. And it was at this time that Mary Elizabeth remembered that earlier in the day, she had received a package of chocolate bonbons through the mail.
Okay.
The package had been wrapped in brown paper and topped off with a pink satin ribbon. And the chocolates inside were placed atop a expensive white handkerchief with the price tag still attached.
Well, that's tacky. You never leave the price tag on.
That's tacky. You're funny.
I mean, if you send somebody a gift and you leave the price tag on, that's tacky.
I don't have a specific opinion about it. I guess it depends on if you're planning on returning it or not. You know, like if you think that they might want to return it, then sometimes it's better to have the price tag on it.
I guess it was a different time.
I don't think they had gift receipts then.
Their loss.
Enclosed was a note that read, quote, "With love to yourself and baby, signed Miss C," unquote.
Oh.
Mary Elizabeth passed around the box of bonbons, taking 3 for herself, because girl loved chocolate.
I mean, they're her chocolates. She's allowed to take as many as she wants.
I agree. Mm-hmm. Her sister Ida and several other family members and neighbors all took pieces too, but Congressman Penington abstained, preferring instead to enjoy his chewing tobacco, which is disgusting.
Gross. Gross, Penington. Yep. Gross.
Yep, that's a bad choice. You should have had chocolate instead.
Chocolate's way better.
You're a fucking monster.
Wow. Alright, well that was extreme, but okay.
I have a lot of feelings about men right now.
I'll jump on board on that one. Yeah, you fucking monster and you're chewing tobacco.
I had a really bad experience with a guy that had chewing tobacco, and maybe I have some trauma about it.
Maybe, damn.
Did I ever tell you about that?
No.
I went to a concert in Pittsburgh to see Dave Matthews Band at the ballpark there.
Okay.
With Jeff and Chastity, and who is now Chastity's husband.
Okay.
Who is not into Dave Matthews Band.
He was just because he was told to come?
He was dating the girl she was so into them, that she was more into them than all of us combined, really.
Wow.
But Jeff and I were both also very into them.
Fair.
And we went down there, and it was kind of a show that was off right from the get-go. You know, you just kind of, like, feel a weird feeling.
Weird vibe.
And it was at the ballpark, so the good seats were on the field. GA.
Yeah.
This kind of sucks. And Jeff and I were in general admission. So we were down there, and it was packed, and Zach Brown Band was opening.
Oh, wow.
Which isn't my jam.
Yeah.
Although, I will say I enjoyed him way more than I expected to, because he covered Rage Against the Machine, and it was tight.
Nice.
It was very good. But anyway, during the shitty chicken fried song that everybody knows, this guy walks by, and he's got so much chew in his mouth, he can't close his mouth. And he's clearly wasted.
Ew.
And I don't know if he was, like, just misjudged where he was at, or if he was passing out. I don't know. All I know is he fell into my head and headbutted me. And I had I almost passed out. I had a wicked, like, headache the whole rest of the show, plus the lights.
Oh, God.
Were terrible. And then and we had been separated from Chastity and Christian, so we didn't know. They drove, so we were kind of trapped there. But we just went to the back of the area and watched from afar, and it was okay after a while. We found out later that Chastity had gotten sunstroke and gotten pretty sick herself. It was the worst concert I've ever been to.
Oh my God, yeah, that's like signs to not be there.
I saw someone die at that concert too, unrelated to everything.
Wow.
At the end of the show, when we were kind of leaving, or we saw everyone in the stands were leaving, we were the last to leave because we were on the actual field.
Yeah.
So we're just kind of sitting watching. And I notice over at the very first row in the stands, there's a guy giving CPR to someone. And this is during the encore, so the song is still playing.
Oh, God.
And I know the song is like 10 minutes long. So he was giving CPR like the whole time, from the beginning of the song till after we left. So at least 15, 20 minutes. That, to me, says he's just trying to make it look like he's still trying while everybody's still present.
Was he playing Ants Marching at the time? Is that song like 15 minutes long?
I mean, most of their songs are 15 minutes long.
Yeah,
this was Two Step was what he was playing.
Yeah, Two Step also makes sense.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite songs.
It's a really good song.
Yeah, that was one of 3 times I've been at concerts where someone died, and 2 of them were Dave Matthews Band shows.
Good God! My God. Okay, no Dave Matthews Band concerts.
While everyone was enjoying the treats, Mary Elizabeth told them about her friend Miss Corbally, who lived in San Francisco and who she believed had sent her the gift of chocolates. She gushed to them how sweet it had been to receive such a nice gift.
How nice of Miss C.
Yep, but by the following day, several people who had been present at the Penningtons' house that night had become horribly ill, including Mary Elizabeth and Ida, all of them reporting nausea, vomiting, and diarrhea.
Oh, no.
A doctor was called to the congressman's house and determined that the family had been made ill by poorly prepared trout.
Oh. But the neighbors didn't have dinner with them.
Well, that didn't make any sense to John because he had also eaten trout, and he felt fine.
Yeah, and the neighbors didn't eat dinner with them, so they didn't have the trout. They had the bonbons.
Yeah, they didn't say anything specifically about the neighbors.
Oh.
But I'm sure that they were sick too. This is a story from over 100 years ago, so...
Okay, so we can't canvass the neighbors at this point.
Yeah, I mean, you know, some information is going to get lost. If it were food poisoning of trout, wouldn't he also be sick?
Yeah, unless he just has a really strong stomach. I mean,
yeah.
Some people just handle it better than others.
That's true. As the day went on, everybody else's symptoms began to improve, and they started feeling better, except Ida and Mary Elizabeth.
Okay.
When his daughters were still not showing any signs of improvement the following day, John called a doctor to the home for a second opinion.
Okay.
This doctor agreed that the family had been suffering from a poisoning, but he didn't think that the poorly prepared trout was the culprit.
Yeah, don't blame the trout.
Instead, he looked at all of Mary Elizabeth and Ida's reported symptoms. Abdominal pain, vomiting, nausea, bloody diarrhea, extreme muscle cramping, and delirium.
Same.
The women were showing... I did not register that statement at all.
I was just watching your face and watching you, like, slowly get what I just said.
Wow. That's funny. I'm sorry that you have bloody diarrhea.
No, I'm good.
No wonder you have a headache.
Yeah.
That sounds
oh my God, yeah.
Inconvenient.
To say the least.
The women were showing all the classic signs of arsenic poisoning.
Arsenic! My God!
Even worse, at that point, there was nothing that could be done to save the women. And both Mary Elizabeth and Ida sadly passed away in the following days.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Blood loss?
From arsenic poisoning.
Dude, that
I don't
sucks.
know
That's a terrible way to die.
Oh, yeah. Terrible.
Yeah.
Sounds awful. It sounds like I looked it up just to see what can be done now. I mean, arsenic isn't something that is as easy to come by nowadays. It's not around as much.
Yeah.
But I still don't think if they don't catch it pretty quickly that there's a lot that can be done now.
Yeah.
If you're poisoned in a large dose, like it seems like they must have been anyway.
Yeah, it sounds like, honestly, I'm guessing the bonbons. That's my thought.
Congressman Penington was tasked with notifying family members about the tragic loss, including Mary Elizabeth's husband, who was thankfully able to leave Cuba and return home.
That's lucky.
Of course, at the time, traveling wasn't quite as speedy as it is now, so it still took him 10 days to get back.
Oh.
Yeah. In the meantime, Penington began doing his own investigation into the poisoning, starting by sending the remaining chocolate bonbons to a man named Dr. Wood, who tested them and confirmed that they did in fact contain arsenic.
Oh, God. Wait, wasn't there a... Hold on, I'm sorry. Wasn't there also a handkerchief with the package?
Stop trying to get ahead of my story!
Sorry.
Yes!
Sorry.
Yes, there was a handkerchief. Do you want to go over all of the evidence?
Yes, I would like to.
I wrote 10 pages.
Okay, I'm done. I won't ask questions.
I'm on page 2.5.
I won't say anything else the rest of the episode.
No. Just...
Okay.
You're so, like,
I'm into it.
What happened to him, though?
I'm sorry for being into your story.
You're cracking me up.
Sue me!
In the meantime, waiting for John to come back, he began clearing out his daughter's belongings, and in a drawer, he found a collection of letters addressed to Mary Elizabeth. The letters, all from an anonymous source, detailed Mary Elizabeth's husband's supposed affair with a, quote, very interesting and pretty woman, unquote.
Yeah, that's what they all say.
When Dunning finally came back to Dover, Penington showed him the letters and asked him if he knew anything about them. Dunning took one look at the letters and recognized the handwriting, and he said, Cordelia! I knew it. I knew you'd get excited when you heard that name. We bonded very early in our friendship over a mutual love of Buffy the Vampire.
Yeah, I love that name. Cordelia was one of my favorite characters on that show. She was just so fun.
Oh yeah, she's the best.
Yeah.
This one's a little bit different.
Not as fun as that, Cordelia?
Depends on your definition of fun.
She doesn't sound fun.
Not yet. He went on to explain that up until recently, he had been having an affair with a woman named Cordelia, but he had broken things off before he went to Cuba because he wanted to try to make things work with Mary Elizabeth.
John Dunning is kind of a handsome guy. I'm just saying. Whoa! Cordelia, what the hell? Damn.
What?
Cordelia.
What about her?
I just looked at her photo. My goodness, okay.
She was a character.
Yes, she is. I will say, John Dunning had a type.
The drawn-out type, because those photos are terrible?
Yeah. Oh my gosh, okay. Alright, keep going. I want to hear about Cordelia.
Apparently, Cordelia hadn't taken the news very well when they broke up. Dunning then looked at the note that had been included with the chocolates, and bingo, handwriting matched. They were pretty confident that it was Cordelia.
Sounds like it.
Okay, but who the fuck is Cordelia?
Yeah.
Well, Cordelia Botkins was born in Kansas City, Missouri, and not much is known about her early life either. But we do know that on September 26, 1872, she married a man by the name of Welcome Botkins.
Welcome?
Welcome.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. He was a wealthy grain broker.
Aren't they all? Just say it.
I have no frame of reference. Maybe.
Sorry.
Possibly.
Yeah, whatever.
I mean, if you're in Kansas, probably.
Yeah. Yeah.
In the late 1880s, Welcome had been offered a new job in California, moving the whole family to Stockton. Cordelia was described as short and stout, and the general consensus was that she was frumpy and unattractive. Yeah,
from those photos and that drawing, yeah. Didn't do her any favors.
You don't see Victorian ladies with their hands behind their head and push their boobs out very often, is all I'm saying.
So I'll be suggestive Victorian ladies.
Cordelia, on the other hand, had the confidence of Beyonce in the body of Mama June from Toddlers and Tiaras.
Yes!
Which nowadays, we love any queen with self-confidence in any body shape, but back then, people weren't nearly as open as they are now.
No.
Let's be honest, they aren't that open right now.
No, but man, that's a great reference.
Cordelia was also a bit of a party girl who loved gambling and drinking, which really started to take a toll on her marriage. In 1894, Welcome became fed up with her bullshit, and he asked his wife for a separation. And Cordelia moved to San Francisco because she had heard that there was more fun. And what do good time girls like more than a good time?
Nothing. That's all they like.
Yep. In 1895, Cordelia was in the park with a friend when John Dunning rode his bike through and noticed her sitting on a bench. He was instantly smitten with her.
Damn,
and
John.
thought she was one of the most stunning women alive.
Damn. All right.
Even though he was married, he decided to approach Cordelia, and the two quickly struck up a conversation.
Naughty.
At the time, John and Mary Elizabeth had been living in San Francisco for a little bit of time, and Mary Elizabeth really did not like being so far away from her family. She also felt like she didn't have many friends there, so she was overall pretty unhappy, and this started to have an effect on their marriage, because the couple had moved to San Francisco specifically for John's job with the Associated Press, and he felt it was really important for him to be there and have this position.
Okay.
Since Cordelia and John were both experiencing similar problems in their marriage, they began spending a lot of time together and bonding over their marital troubles, which usually doesn't end well.
Nope.
No. Dunning felt that he had more in common with Cordelia overall than he had with most women in the time, because she had very non-traditional interests for a woman. She was into drinking and gambling and watching sports and hanging out at the local brothel.
I mean, she sounds like fun.
Yeah. She's just a guy's girl.
Yeah, she's just one of the guys.
Yeah.
But with tits.
Quickly, the two of them began having an affair that was fueled by partying and lots of sex. I guess John really hadn't wanted himself a trad wife nearly as much as he had thought he had.
Yeah. I mean, people always go with what they think they're supposed to want, and then they're like, I don't want this.
Yeah, and then they get stuck with a trad wife, and they start doing shit like...
cheating.
I was gonna reference a Duggar. I stopped myself.
Any excuse to bring them up, eh?
I intercepted my Duggar reference for the day, so I feel like I've done well.
Well done. Well done.
Yeah. So far.
I think my motorcycle's here to pick me up.
Cool. You need to go?
Yeah.
The leader of the pack. Because Cordelia already had a bad reputation for her promiscuous and non-traditional behavior even before she met Dunning, gossip about their affair quickly spread, and it wasn't long before the news made it back to Mary Elizabeth. She was heartbroken and embarrassed, and though she tried to stick it out and tried to convince her husband to work with her on the marriage, eventually she made the decision to go back to Dover with her baby and move in with her parents, John and Rebecca Penington, in 1896.
Good for you, girl. Good for you.
With Mary Elizabeth back in Delaware, Dunning and Cordelia's affair got kicked into high gear. These two are partying all over San Francisco, getting wasted almost every night, gambling away money that they sometimes didn't even have, having copious amounts of sex, the whole nine.
Same. No, I'm kidding.
You're full of shit today. But not everyone can keep up with this amount of partying, and Dunning began struggling. He couldn't keep his shit together. He developed a substantial gambling debt, which led to him embezzling from the Associated Press, his employer, and eventually getting fired from his job.
Oh, man.
So the affair between Cordelia and Dunning lasted a very hot and heavy, nearly 3 years.
Holy cow.
And John's life devolved more and more as time went on. In March of 1898, the Associated Press approached Dunning with an opportunity to redeem himself and his career. They needed a reporter who was willing to go to Cuba and report on a conflict that was a precursor to what would eventually become the Spanish-American War.
Oh, okay.
John accepted the job and made plans to go to Cuba, and he also broke the news to Cordelia that when his assignment was complete, he would not be returning to San Francisco, but instead he had decided to go back to Dover and try to fix his marriage with Mary Elizabeth. Fucking typical.
Yeah, you have fun with the girl, but she ruined your life, so now you're going to go back to the one that made everything better. That's his choice.
Excuse me, I'm going to correct you.
Okay.
He ruined his life.
I know, he did.
Cordelia
he made a bad choice to go hang out with this girl, and the two of them just fed off each other.
Yep. He chose to fuck around, and then he found out.
She was just doing her thing, and he decided to join her. That's him.
Yep. Cordelia has some fucking audacity that I appreciate. I'm not gonna lie. No, I'm team Cordelia.
I mean, she sounds like a fun lady. She sounds like she's a lot of fun.
What she chose to do after this all happened. No. But before this, I'm team Cordelia. Because I have an appreciation for a woman who bucks the norms in Victorian era America.
I agree.
You okay?
Yeah, I just knocked my phone into my lap. I'm good.
Oh, okay. So Cordelia was devastated by this news, and she begged him to stay, but it was all in vain because Dunning had already made up his mind to leave, and when he did, Cordelia became distraught. Sadness and grief over the loss of the relationship grew to anger and resentment towards Mary Elizabeth, and this is when she began writing the letters that John Penington found later in his daughter's drawer after her death.
You know what? It's not Mary Elizabeth's fault.
I know.
Leave her alone, man.
I know. She was an unfortunate victim in all of this.
And her sister.
Oh, even more so. Yeah. So now that Congressman Penington knew about John Dunning's affair, and he had a very likely suspect in mind for the murder of his daughters, he wanted to track her down and get justice for their deaths.
Absolutely. Go, John, go.
Hell yeah. He started by calling the Dover police, who in turn called the San Francisco Police Department, and an investigation was underway. A police officer from Dover traveled to San Francisco to hand-deliver the evidence that had already been gathered in this case. The letters, the empty chocolate bonbon package, and the lace handkerchief that had been shipped with the candies.
Okay.
The San Francisco Police Chief Isaiah W. Lees began his investigation by finding out the origin of the chocolate bonbons. It turns out that it wasn't actually all that difficult to do because the pink satin ribbon and brown paper wrapping were a signature branding element in a very popular local shop at the time called George Haas Confectionery. Apparently, this business had multiple locations in San Francisco in 1898, so the police set out visiting each one of them to try to find any information relating to the murders. Eventually, they were able to find a store clerk who recalled selling half a box of chocolates to a woman that they described as, quote, short, fat, and kind of frumpy looking.
Rude.
The clerk remembered Cordelia because it was super weird for someone to buy a half box of chocolates as a gift, and they'd asked her the reasons why. She'd replied by telling them that she planned on adding her own homemade chocolates to the box as well.
Well, why not get the full box and eat, like, some yourself and enjoy them and then just add your own?
The girl didn't have any money.
Fair.
She was broke because she partied it all away with Dunning.
You make your choices.
Yep. Investigators then followed the next lead, the price tag on the handkerchief, to the City of Paris department store, which was San Francisco's most upscale department store at the time.
Ooh.
And inside, they were able to find the sales associate who had sold the handkerchief. And this woman also described the customer who'd bought it as looking exactly like Cordelia. Now that they had figured out basically what part of the city Cordelia had been planning this murder in, it wasn't very difficult for them to find the post office that she had gone to ship the package out of, or to find the postal worker who had helped her. The postal worker also described the customer shipping the package as, quote, frumpy and stout, unquote.
I mean, you gotta give them credit. This is some pretty good police work for the time.
I think so, too. That's why, that's why I went all in. You know I like good police work.
Yeah. This is impressive, considering, like, forensics was literally, like, well, the description matches, so I guess it's her.
Yeah, they did their due diligence.
Yeah, they did.
Definitely agree. And it's funny that everybody remembered her. Like, you'd think, most of the time you've worked retail, they have to do something special to stand out.
Yeah, there are a few customers that I always remember. Yeah,
and
like the lady who
remembered her.
Wore, like, a 15-pound blonde wig and was, like, the tiniest person.
I remember you told me about her.
Oh, no, this was a different woman wearing a wig. There was the old lady who was kind of crazy and peed on the floor who wore a wig. But this woman...
tell me about her.
Oh, I thought I told you about Wiggy and not the other one. There are a lot of people wearing wigs at Bloomingdale's.
Investigators were also able to find the pharmacist at the Owl drugstore who recalled selling arsenic to a woman matching Cordelia's description.
What a time they lived in when you could just walk into a pharmacy and say, I'll take 1 arsenic, please.
I know, I googled what it would have been used to be sold at a pharmacist, and it looks like they used it in skincare.
Yeah, I know. I'd heard some of that stuff, and I'm like, damn, that's messed up.
Yeah, no thank you.
But it also used to be in, like, certain clothing dyes, so, like, certain colored clothes could poison you. So, arsenic used to be in a lot of stuff.
It did, I know. I was curious where you would just buy it.
Yeah, that's a weird concept.
I'll just stick with my retinol, to be honest with you. San Francisco police then executed a search warrant on Cordelia's home, and they found leftover pink satin ribbon from the wrapping of the chocolate bonbons just sitting on a table.
Wow, she did not dispose of the evidence.
Cordelia really seems to not have had any real concern about getting caught for this crime.
Wow. Girl, that is some confidence or stupidity. Oh, yeah. I don't know. I'm guessing confidence with the way she sounds.
Certainly wasn't intelligent.
No. She doesn't sound like it.
As intelligent, but
ballsy, probably.
Yeah. Investigators now felt that they had enough evidence to charge Cordelia, and Chief Lees presented the evidence to the grand jury on October 28, 1898. The judge agreed and issued an arrest warrant, and Cordelia was later arrested on 2 charges of murder.
Ooh. Job, police people.
So this case was a jurisdictional nightmare.
Oh, I bet.
All parties were really hoping that Cordelia would just confess to the murders and they wouldn't have to deal with any of it. But she was not going to make it that easy on them, no.
No, not our Cordy. No.
No, instead she entered a not guilty plea.
Damn right she did.
As this was the first case of murder being committed by mail, there was no legal precedent set for how this would be handled, and both Delaware and California wanted to oversee the court proceedings.
Ooh. Do it in the middle of the country to split the baby.
fucking horrible visual. Why am I the way that I am?
I ask myself that all the time. I'm like, why am I like this? Yeah.
Delaware argued that the trial should take place in Dover because that is where the murder actually took place. But California disagreed, saying that it was crazy to expect them to extradite a suspect to a place that she had never been for murder charges.
I mean, I see both sides. Like, the murder was planned in California, but executed in Dover. So, I get it. Like, San Francisco wants to try it there.
Yeah,
but Dover's like,
sense.
Hey, we got the bodies. And they're like, well, we got the evidence.
Yeah. California did end up winning.
Split the baby! Go in the middle of the country! She's from Kansas, go there!
She's from Missouri.
Oh, yeah.
Kansas City, Missouri.
Oh, that's right. Okay, so go to Missouri!
But California did win.
Of course they did.
And Cordelia's trial began on December 6, 1898.
Tiny little Delaware never stood a chance against California.
I have no words.
I'm going purely on state size, not on power.
Okay. I mean, I'm sure California was more powerful too.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Delaware was like the first state, wasn't it?
One of the first states. It's part of the original colonies.
I think it was the first official state.
Wow, that's crazy. So, oh yeah. Delaware is known as the first state, so apparently it is the first state.
I thought so because I was looking up just information about, like, if there was a place that you can go to see any exhibits about this or something.
Mm-hmm.
I was curious if, like, the house is still standing or if there's anything like that, but there isn't. Doesn't seem like it anyway.
No.
But there were a few places that were, like, the first state museum or whatever. Because of the fascination with the case stemming from the use of the postal system and the prominent people that were involved in the case, the trial became a media circus on par with the Johnny Depp and Amber Heard trial.
Damn.
And everybody was talking about it.
I mean, of course, this is like a crazy trial. Even by now, I would have been, like, watching this trial.
Mm-hmm. People loved being scandalized by talk of Cordelia's appearance, her lewd actions, and her vanity.
Ugh.
She was the villain that everyone loved to hate, and everyone wanted to know every scandalous detail about her.
Man, she is such a Amber Heard.
Mm-hmm. Yep. It's very fitting.
It is incredibly fitting. Things just don't change.
Nope.
And for the record, I'm not taking sides on that whole thing yet. I want to hear what the verdict is before I take sides.
Yeah, I don't care enough to take sides. I'm interested in what comes up. I am not invested.
I guess. Either way, this trial makes everybody lose.
Yeah, of course. The whole situation makes everybody lose.
Yeah, and it's gonna make it harder later on. So thanks a lot, everybody.
I mean, they all kind of suck.
Yeah,
at least to some degree.
Yeah, they all suck to some point.
The media called her a, quote, smug, self-satisfied, cunning little woman. Unquote.
Same.
For the worst. And the media sensation got people very curious about what John Dunning must look like, too. I mean, he must be George Clooney level hot to warrant the kind of obsession that could have caused Cordelia to commit murder over.
He's not a bad-looking dude.
They disagree. But
well, that's their choice.
When he showed up for his day in court, people were very disappointed.
I mean, yeah, if you're expecting, like, George Clooney, which, I mean, I don't find him all that attractive, but if that's what you find attractive and that's what you're expecting, and you get John Dunning... I don't find
George Clooney level hot. I just think I think George Clooney is objectively a good central person.
Yeah, he's a handsome man.
Attractiveness.
He's a handsome man. Handsome enough to be...
In all ages.
Yeah.
Whereas that kind of varies with other people. So he's always my example for, like, the hottest guy, even though I personally think he's lukewarm.
Yeah, he's not my type, so I'm like, but I see why other people are attracted to him.
Well, that's what I mean. He's objectively a handsome guy, even though he's not someone I'm personally attracted to.
Yeah, so I'm trying to think of, like, I don't know, you're expecting George Clooney and you get, like, John Cusack, you're like,
He's not John Cusack.
I mean, I don't think John Cusack's attractive. I don't know why John Cusack popped into my head. I think there's just so many Johns that just, like, popped into my head.
I have an ex. John Cusack is my type, kind of. So, I have an ex that looked a lot like him.
Okay.
So, I'm trying to think of someone that I would consider lukewarm.
George Clooney?
No, because he's objectively hot.
Okay. I'm trying to think of somebody and I can't. Like, I just keep going back to John Cusack.
Anderson Cooper?
He's a handsome man.
I didn't say he wasn't handsome.
But
he's not as hot as George Clooney, objectively.
Okay. Let's move on.
Find men kind of repulsive, so I'm not really the best person. Lately, I'm not the best person to go to for
dude talk.
No, not really my thing. The newspapers described him as whiny, and also said that he had, quote, narrow shoulders and thinning hair, unquote.
I just like that they were like, he's whiny.
I feel like just about anyone, though, would show up, and if you've got... It's kind of like when everybody is like, you would love this 80s movie that I've never seen, and this is the best movie that I've ever seen in my life. And then when I actually watch it, I'm like, this is shit. I don't get it. Because it was overhyped.
Yeah.
And so they were all getting themselves all worked up into a lather over how hot this dude was going to be. There was no way the dude was going to show up and live up to that, regardless of what he looked like.
Yeah. Speaking of 80s movies, I just watched Nightmare on Elm Street for the first time, literally today.
Which one's that?
That's the one with Johnny Depp in it. That's his first movie. It's the one with Freddy Krueger.
Okay, that answers the question.
Yeah. I've never seen that. I've never seen a Nightmare on Elm Street movie. So I was like, all right, I'm going to watch it.
I think I've seen a clip of one. Like, it was on TV and I watched it for a minute and then changed the channel. I'm not a scary movie person. I
like scary movies. I was just like, I never really got into them until like the last few years. Last 5 years I got into them, so.
I went to the laundromat like down the street to get quarters to do laundry this weekend at 9 o'clock this morning. Ooh, and they were watching Silence of the Lambs.
Okay, that's fucked up.
There's a big sign that says no quarters unless you're a customer, and there's an employee there looking at me as I'm clearly not a customer getting quarters. And I looked at her, I was like, scary movies in the morning, huh? And I was like, she left me alone, so whatever it was, calling her out.
Yeah.
Or she never was gonna call me out. She's like, I don't fucking care.
Obviously, she doesn't care. She's like, ooh, Hannibal Lecter. Let's look at that. Yeah.
I go in there once every 3 months or so to get quarters. They can deal.
I literally went to a currency exchange and got 3 rolls of quarters today.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I only have to pay 75 cents every load I do, because the washing machine doesn't take any money, just the dryer.
Oh, that's lucky.
And it's 75. It's just because the washing machine broke and they never replaced the coin thing.
Oh, that's lucky. Yeah. Mine is $1.25 per load. Like, $1.25 for washer and $1.25 for dryer. So it's not
20
horrible.
$20 will last me a really long time.
Nice. With the amount of laundry I have to do, I might go through all $30 worth of quarters.
It'll be nice to be done.
It'll be nice, yeah.
On December 30th, 1898, after 4 hours of deliberation, the jury delivered a guilty verdict on both counts of murder, and she was sentenced to life in prison. More than 500 people had gathered outside the courthouse on the day the verdict was read, and when the news made it to the crowd, they erupted in celebration and cheering.
Poor Cordy.
So Cordelia was brought to the San Francisco jail to serve her time, and a few months later, the judge, who had presided over her trial, was downtown doing some shopping when he spotted a woman who looked exactly like her.
Uh-oh.
Also shopping.
Uh-oh.
Not wanting to approach her and risk her fleeing, he launched an investigation, which later discovered that in jail, Cordelia had begun exchanging sexual favors with several of the prison guards.
Oh.
For perks like private cell, a nicer mattress, and the freedom to leave the prison whenever she wanted to.
Oh my god, Cordy! Oh my god!
This is a side note, but can you imagine how much power a sexually confident woman had at that time when you weren't allowed to express your sexuality?
Oh my god, she could run the world!
I know.
Damn. Girl,
I just think that's fucking impressive.
Girl, get it. Damn, Cordy. Yeah. Alright, respect.
Yeah, she played the game and she won it.
Yeah, she did. She played by her rules.
None of the guards would admit any wrongdoing, though, so nothing was done.
Of course they wouldn't. They want their sexual favors.
And they didn't want to get in trouble.
Yeah.
It was more than one, so
As long as they don't rat each other out, they're home free. My God.
I know.
She got to leave the prison and just be like, I'm gonna go shopping.
Yeah.
Oh my God. That is a lot of trust to assume that she would even come back. It's not like she can, like, put an ankle monitor on her or anything.
Yeah, that didn't exist back then.
Nope.
That's not really super relevant to the case. I just thought the absolute audacity of Cordelia was pretty funny, and I wanted to share that.
Oh, I'm so glad you did. I love that. That might be the cherry on top of this sundae.
Unfortunately, Penington lived just long enough to see justice for the murder of his daughters, but unfortunately, he ended up dying on June 1st, 1902.
Oh.
And sadly now, his legacy has been mostly reduced to this specific incident.
I mean, it's incredibly sad. It's incredibly sad. Mm-hmm. But it's also kind of impressive for the time.
It's really interesting.
Yeah, I mean, that's precedent-setting right there.
It is. It's the very first time the Postal Service had ever been used for a murder.
Damn.
And, that's going to keep it in people's memory regardless of how everything else shook out.
That is a fascinating story.
Mm-hmm. So it is still considered one of the most noted murders in Dover history. And Penington is buried in Dover in the Old Presbyterian Cemetery on the grounds of the Delaware State Museum with both of his daughters.
Aww.
So, that is the story of Congressman John B. Penington.
Wow. That is an interesting story.
I thought so.
I'm just glad
actually have known this story for a while. I heard about this. Bailey Sarian covered it a few years ago. But I didn't remember where it was at, so when I was looking through and I saw the name Cordelia and, quote, the box of chocolates murders, I was like, oh my God!
Yes! That was great! That was great. I'm just glad that the children weren't hurt.
Yeah. It seemed like, one piece, if she had just had one piece.
She might have survived, yeah.
Her
parents
had survived, but because both girls had sweet tooths, and there was a lot of reporting that said that Cordelia knew that, because that was a detail that John had shared, that Mary Elizabeth had a sweet tooth. And so it was believed that was why she selected that as an option of murder. Which is really sad.
Yeah.
But
man, that sucks. It sucks that her sister had to get involved.
It sucks that Mary Elizabeth did too. She didn't do anything wrong.
No,
she married a D-bag.
Yeah. That's the worst thing she did, was marrying the wrong person.
Yeah. In a time when she, let's be honest, probably didn't have a whole lot of choice.
Yeah.
I mean, she was from a prominent family in the 1800s. Some of that was probably decided. Maybe not for her specifically, but for people, it was.
Yeah.
So.
Oh man, that was a good one. That was a really good one.
I thought so. So, do you want to see where we're going to go next week?
Hell yeah!
Hell yeah!
Izzy's sleeping really sadly on a pile of my laundry.
All around me are familiar faces.
You sad little cat.
She's like, Mom, are you almost done with your cast pod?
I mean, she couldn't give two shits what I'm doing. She doesn't want me to bother her. She just wants to, sleep sadly in a corner and try and elicit some attention and then run away as soon as she gets any.
She's like Cordelia.
She is.
There was actually one thing in the story that I read that said Cordelia would brag to people that she had been photographed over 100 times, which back then was, a big deal.
Yeah.
But, I had to leave some of it out. There was so much information.
That's awesome that a story from that long ago has that much information.
Yeah. A lot of the actual evidence was lost, though, in the San Francisco earthquake.
Oh, that's a bummer.
So, and she died in 1910.
Oh,
too,
so she wasn't...
Which is also interesting.
Yeah, she wasn't in there very much longer. I mean...
She died due to, quote, softening of the brain due to melancholy, unquote.
Sounds like a real issue. Yeah.
I don't know if that's a thing, but... That's what they said.
Honestly, I'm just thinking syphilis, but okay.
They would have known it was syphilis. You get fucking psychosis from syphilis that's untreated.
That's fair.
Maybe something else. I'm sorry, I'm just chatting away. There was so much that I didn't put in the story because I was like, this is going to be 4 hours long if I tell all of it.
It was a great story. It's a really good story.
All right, so it looks like we are going to be going to Maumee, Ohio.
Maumee!
Which, I think, if I'm remembering correctly, you went to college near there, didn't you?
I did. I went to college at Bowling Green State University.
I thought so. I used to drive through Maumee a lot when I lived in Pennsylvania and was going to Flint to see my ex-boyfriend.
Yes. It's super close. It's, like, really, really close, and it's a cute town. It's a cute place, so.
Yeah, I'd be interested to hear anything about it that's not the McDonald's, because that's the only thing I know about it, is that I stop at the McDonald's to pee all the time.
I won't tell you any stories about the McDonald's.
And I didn't buy anything, and I felt very naughty.
Well, you should. That's abuse of their facility.
I would normally never do that, but I was a broke college student driving 6 hours. When you gotta pee, you gotta pee.
Girl, you do what you gotta do.
Yeah.
Alright, let's find out what we're gonna talk about. Alright. It sounds like we are going to be discussing a originality story.
Oh, originals. I think this is our first one, right?
I don't think we've talked about this before, so I'll have to find something that fits that category. In Maumee, that might be difficult, so if I have any Ohio friends that have any suggestions, let me know.
Did you hear the 800 motorcycles that just drove by my apartment?
I didn't, no.
Oh, there were so many of them.
No, I didn't hear any of them.
Okay, sorry.
It's okay.
They just kept coming. Like, I thought that they were done and then there were more of them. I'm like, how the fuck are there more of you?
It's like a fucking clown car of motorcycles.
Every single person with a motorcycle ever just drove by my apartment.
Motherfuckers. Don't they know what we're doing?
I'm over it.
Time to post a sign in your window. Podcast recording! Drive quietly!
They'll do that, will just make it worse.
Yeah.
These aren't the kind of men that give a shit about anything but themselves.
Just stand outside your apartment just revving their engines.
Probably. Last night, something set off a car alarm in the parking lot of my apartment, and it went on for, like, almost an hour.
Oh, God. Oh,
and
that sounds like hell.
Like, dancing along.
So you were having, like, a little EDM dance party in there.
I was so high. I was like, if I don't make this funny, I'm gonna lose my shit.
Oh, that's brilliant. Oh, that's so brilliant. Oh, I love it.
Alright, well.
I gotta go, because my head's gonna explode.
I'm sorry.
That's okay. I don't have, I think I have some aspirin. I might take that, because I need something. This is gonna...
You want me to hit you over the head with a bat?
I had the opportunity to get hit over the head with a frying pan earlier, and I didn't take it.
See, that's why this is happening.
So, I was at the studio earlier. We moved spaces last weekend. Mm-hmm. And so we were setting our temporary space and trying to, like, make it usable for the next 6 weeks. Mm-hmm. And I had forgotten that Dan had given me a frying pan. Like, a friend of his had given him a bunch of, like, kitchen stuff, and he gave me a frying pan. And so I was like, I guess I'll just keep this here in case I need to protect myself. I have a frying pan. And he brought out his taser, and he was like, oh, what's more dangerous, the taser or the frying pan? I'm like, I think I'm gonna win.
I wouldn't want to be tased while holding a frying pan.
No, but I think I have a little bit more range than he does.
Is it just one of the ones you hold up, or is that the kind that shoot?
It's definitely not the kind that shoots. God help us if Dan gets a shooting taser, because no one would be safe, especially not him.
I once saw this guy get tased when I worked in Crisis. I saw a lot of people get tased, but my favorite time I saw someone get tased was this big dude, like he was huge. And in our office at the hospital, we had a metal desk. Mm-hmm. And he was trying to throw the desk at the girl that was admitting him against his will. He was being involuntarily committed.
Oh, man.
And so he was trying to pick up the desk. And the security guard tased him. And he had this big metal desk in his hand.
Oh, no, so he's just shaking?
Stop fucking tasing me!
Damn, dude!
I know, I was like, you're scary.
Oh my God. Yeah, no, he's terrifying.
He was like the Incredible Hulk. He was a big dude.
Dude.
Yeah, no.
Alright.
I was glad that he wasn't able to hurt anyone. But still, he was a big dude.
Dude, sounds like a big crazy dude.
Yep. So on that note.
See you next week.
You know what we didn't do at the beginning is say how we were getting there.
Oh, fuck! Yeah, I forgot about that.
I did too.
Yeah, next time.
Yeah.
How'd you get there?
I mailed myself, duh.
Oh, okay. I think I'm gonna take a little dune buggy.
Okay.
Dune buggy my way up there.
Okay, so that's how we got to Dover.
Yeah.
Alright, well, have a good night.
Good night.
Happy wandering.
Bye!
Bye! Thank you for listening to the Wandering Chronicles podcast with your hosts, Ashley and Jamie. You can follow us on social media at Wandering Chronicles Pod on TikTok, Wandering Chronicles Podcast on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube, and WND Chronicle Pod on Twitter. Or you can email us at wanderingchroniclespodcast@gmail.com. New episodes drop once a week. If you're liking what you're listening to, please consider leaving us a 5-star review on Apple. If you don't like what you're listening to, that's fine. Please tell everyone you know about our podcast. Your bank teller, that person at work that you're pretty sure steals your lunch out of the fridge every day, but you can't prove it, so you don't say anything. The hot dad that walks his dog by your house every day. Your cashier at the grocery store. Your children's friends' parents. I bet they listen to podcasts. Hey, thanks. Bye!
They were poisoned?
A doctor. What was that?
Were they poisoned?
Maybe.
Okay. I will not ask questions. I will just let you do your thing.
Shit, piss, fuck, cunt, cocksucker, motherfucker, tits, fart, turd, and twat. I fucked your mom. That's from a Blink-182 song.
I just love you singing, I fucked your mom.